he said in a separate interview that no one in the Labour Party should listen to Tony Blair anymore. Do you agree with that?
I don't really agree with that. No, I'm sure I think he was. I suspect John Prescott was a bit tongue-in-cheek. Look, I mean, Tony Blair won 3 elections for the Labour Party, so you know we should listen to him and you know respectfully and listen to always reflect on what he has to say. Doesn't mean you always have to agree with Tony Blair, but I mean I'm not dismissive of any former Labour leader and. Certainly not one who won elections. So I would listen to Tony Blair, but I'd listen to Gordon Brown, I'd listen to Neil Kinnock, I'd listen to Michael Foot if he was still alive as well.
Would you listen to the Jewish Labour movement, who had a meeting last night in which some incredibly offensive remarks were made? Would you listen to them?
The Jewish Labour movement, yes, absolutely. And one of the things that's happening at the conference this morning, I believe, is that the Jewish Labour movement are putting to the conference a very important motion about stamping out anti-Semitism. That motion has got my complete and full support. And I hope the conference votes for that motion, because we should have absolute zero tolerance when it comes to the quite disgusting and despicable anti-Semitism that quite sadly we sometimes see on social media these days. And indeed, as I believe, we look in the newspapers, I wasn't there, but from looking at the newspapers, I believe was at sadly at an event in Brighton last night.
I slightly misworded what I was meant to say to you. The reason I asked that question was, there is a group that's trying to get the Jewish Labour movement expelled, and the group that wants to do that, the stuff that's going on at their meetings, and the people that are attending it, how can the Labour Party have anything to do with these people? It is rampant anti-Semitism. It involves Holocaust denial. They want the expulsion of the Jewish Labour movement from the party, and so on and so on. This is an ongoing sore, isn't it, in the Labour Party, this charge of tolerating anti-Semitism. When you pick up the Daily Mail today, all right, it's the Mail, but not a Labour-supporting paper. But when you read the details, when you read that the chairman of the Parliamentary Labour Party, John Cryer, says he's seen tweets from Labour Party members which make his hair stand on end and were redolent of the 1930s. That's got to give you guys at the top of the party a lot of concern, hasn't it?
Yeah, yes, it has. And I think party members who make anti-Semitic remarks, who make some of these disgusting Holocaust denial statements, they shouldn't be in the party. They should be suspended, expelled. So, I mean, I wasn't at this event last night. I've already read about it in the papers this morning, which I'm sure you'll appreciate. But if any of those people who are named or as making these statements, they shouldn't be in the Labour Party. And the Jewish Labour movement has long been involved in the Labour Party for donkey's years. And they should remain in the Labour Party for years and years to come as well.
Do you think that Ken Livingstone should be in the Labour Party?
Well, he's been suspended, and when he was, or he's still suspended. I remember when he made his remarks. I was actually
you just said that people should be expelled for making comments like that.
Yeah. I mean, the reason I was just being a little bit careful is because the Labour Party, we have a sort of semi-judicial process where people come and they give their evidence and put their case. And I mean, lawyers do get involved, so we do have to be a little bit careful. So our various national executive committees and constitutional committees and all our party bureaucratic committees look into it, and both sides come with their barristers and so on. But you know, he should be suspended. Those committees make a judgment in the end. But you know, if they decide that he's what people say is anti-Semitic, then they get expelled in the end, and I think that's the right course of action.